Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu an, when he was the caliph, he used to go out in the at nighttime in Medina to just check on people. You know, because he feared that if somebody had a hard time or if he didn't understand what was happening in the city, Allah would hold him accountable. So he would go out and look for people that maybe that had problems, things like that, and patrol. You know, and his wife sometimes used to give him problems. In the narration it says that she would say to him, "You're not going out to try and help people. You just want to see the pretty girls of Medina." Right? But that's what he used to do. So one night, right when it was close to Fajr, you know, he stopped for a rest at a house. And he heard the inhabitants of the house, they were preparing to go to the marketplace. And the mother used to sell milk. You know, maybe goat's milk or camel's milk or something like that. And Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anh, he could hear her telling her daughter, "Put some water in the milk." In other words, stretch it so we can make more of a profit. No one's going to know. But the daughter refused. She said, "No, Ummi, Amir al-Mu'mineen," right? Umar ibn al-Khattab, he has forbidden it. The mother said, "He's not here, right? He can't see you." She said, "Yes, but his Lord can." And Umar radiallahu anh is listening to this. All right, he's hearing this. So he's with his servant. He has someone with him. So he told his servant, "Stay here, keep an eye on this house. I want to know who this young girl is. I want to know who she is." And eventually he found out that she was the daughter of the one I just told you about, Sufyan ibn Abdullah. She was the daughter. Her name was Ammara. All right? So after some inquiry, he found out that this young girl, she was not married. She wasn't married. And so he went to tell his sons, "Hey, I found a salihah. I found this righteous girl. Which one of you wants to marry her?" So he had a son, young son. His name was Asim. And eventually things worked out that Asim and Ammara, they got married. So Ammara and Asim, they had a child, a young girl, and they named her Asim. So when she matured, she married one of the sons of the Umayyad Khulafa, the Umayyad caliphs. She married one of the sons. And then they had a son named Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. He is considered to be the 5th righteous Khalifa of Islam. All right? Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah and Sufyan al-Thawri, they consider him to be the 5th righteous Caliph of Islam. Imam Ahmed considered him to be the mujaddid of his time, the reviver of the religion of his time. One of the reasons why I wanted to tell you that story is because I want to show you how one thing leads to another. If you seek guidance and you are firm on that guidance, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will help you to establish that in your family and in your lineage, and you get the reward for that. It doesn't just stop with you. It continues on in your family. The favor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't just stop with you. It continues to spread. It continues to go. And centuries later, when you're in barzakh, you're in your grave state, you're still reaping the rewards of the hidayah that you asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for when you were requesting Jannah. You were trying to figure out, how am I going to get to Jannah? And so you ask Allah for hidayah, ثُمَّ اسْتَقِمْ. And then you were firm upon that. So, from the tradition, it comes to us how he was. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. How was he? So Fatima, his wife, the wife of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, and this is being narrated by Atta ibn Abu Rabah. You know, she says that Fatima, the wife of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, told me that once she entered upon his room to find him in the place of prayer, and he was crying. Tears were flowing down onto his beard. So she asked him, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, oh, leader of the believers, like, what's wrong? What happened? And he says, oh, Fatima, I have held the responsibility of the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And so I began to think about the hungry who is in need, the lost who is ill, the laborers who they're bare, they don't have enough clothing, the subjugated victims of injustice, the captivated stranger. In other words, you know, somebody travels to a different town, the people disrespect him, don't, you know, and he's lost. Maybe he's taken a prisoner and sold as a slave. The old and the one with too many children everywhere on earth. And he says, I knew that Allah will ask me about all of them, and that their advocate, their lawyer, is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I feared that there will be no plea for me before him. So I felt sorry for myself, and I wept. This is Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, radiyallahu anhu. And it started with his ancestor, Sufyan ibn Abdullah, who asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Rasulullah, just tell me something that I can learn from you and I don't have to ask anybody after you. Like, make it simple, is basically what he's saying. Like, make it simple. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him those two things. He was firm upon that, and that is what produced Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. You understand? So your taqwa, your righteousness, it will help you, your family in this life, and it will help you and them in the next life.